Whispers from the core, the hollow earth enigma. Imagine this. You're standing on the frozen edge of Antarctica, wind howling like 1,000 lost souls, the ice cracking beneath your boots like the earth's own laughter. You peer into a yawning chasm, miles wide, swirling with aurora lights that shouldn't exist down here. And then, warmth. A rush of tropical air, carrying the scent of unknown jungles. Birds you've never seen, glowing, iridescent, swoop out from the darkness. You've found it. The door to the world inside our world. The hollow earth. We are diving, literally, into one of the wildest ideas ever to rattle the pillars of reality. The hollow earth theory. Not just dry facts, folks. No, this is a story. A tale of mad visionaries, forbidden expeditions, and a hidden realm that could rewrite everything we know about home. Grab your headlamp, because we are going deep. Way deep. Let's rewind the clock to 1692. England. A man stares at the night sky through a brass telescope, his mind ablaze with comets and chaos. His name? Edmund Halley. Yeah, that Halley, the comet guy. But while the world obsesses over his fiery streaks across the heavens, Halley's got a secret obsession, the Earth's beating heart. See, back then, sailors whispered of rogue magnetic compasses, lights dancing in the polar skies that no aurora could explain. Halley crunched the numbers, mapped the anomalies, and dropped a bombshell in the philosophical transactions of the Royal Society. The Earth, he said, wasn't a solid rock. Oh no, it was a nest of worlds. Picture it. Our planet as Russian dolls, 5 concentric spheres, each spinning free inside the last, lit by their own tiny suns. The outer shell? Us. But inside? Vast, airy caverns, atmospheres thick with breathable air, oceans lapping at glowing shores. Civilizations, perhaps, thriving in eternal twilight. Halley wasn't spinning yarns for fun. He tied it to real science. Those weird magnetic shifts? Proof of inner worlds wobbling like gyroscopes. It was elegant, terrifying, and utterly mad. The Royal Society polite clapped and moved on. But Halley's seed? It took root. Fast forward a century to the wild frontier of 1818. Ohio. A retired captain named John Cleve Sims Jr. paces his porch under a harvest moon, scribbling manifestos by lantern light. Sims was no armchair dreamer. He'd fought in the War of 1812, stared down cannon fire. But this? This was his white whale. The earth is hollow, he bellowed to anyone who'd listen. Tavern crowds, newspaper editors, even Congress. Not spheres like Halley, but a single vast cavity, pierced by 2 massive polar holes, 1,400 miles wide each, like the ends of a cosmic donut. Step through the North Pole's gateway, and you tumble into paradise. Inner suns blazing, mammoths roaming emerald plains, lost tribes of Atlantis sipping from crystal rivers. Sims didn't stop at words. He petitioned the US government for ships, men, cannons, anything to launch an expedition. I declare the earth is hollow and habitable within, he thundered in his famous circular number 1, printed and mailed to 500 souls. Most laughed him off as a lunatic. But not all. Enter Jeremiah N. Reynolds, a fiery lecturer with a silver tongue and a grudge against the unknown. Reynolds turned Sims' ravings into rally cries, packing halls with wide-eyed audiences. He lobbied presidents, charmed senators. And get this, in 1828, none other than John Quincy Adams, 6th President of the United States, greenlit a secret mission, the Sims Expedition. Whalers fitted with icebreakers, astronomers with star charts for inner skies. They set sail for the South Pole, hearts pounding with the promise of glory. But here's where the yarn spins wild. Our hero, let's call him Elias Thorne, a fictional stand-in for every wide-eyed explorer who chased this ghost, is a young lieutenant aboard that frost-bitten vessel, the Aurora's Whisper. Elias is no fool. Harvard-educated, fresh from mapping Pacific atolls. He joined for the science, the adventure. Sims' fever dreams? Folklore to him. Until the ice breaks. It's March 1830. The ship grinds through bergs taller than cathedrals, the crew muttering prayers to saints long forgotten. Then, a rift. Not a crack, a gorge. miles across, edges curling like black marble veined with fire. Elias volunteers for the longboat, or slicing fog that smells of orchids and salt. As they row closer, the cold flees. Air thickens, humid, alive. Vines, impossible, verdant, drape the chasm walls, blooming with flowers that hum like tuning forks. They descend. Hours? Days? Time unravels in the glow. And then, the breach. The boat tips into free fall, but not to doom. A thermal updraft catches them, spiraling like a leaf in a chimney. Elias claws at the gunwales, heart slamming, as sunlight, no, sunfire, blooms below. They land not on rock, but on a beach of obsidian sand, lapped by waves the color of molten sapphire. The crew stumbles ashore, gasping. Mammoths trumpet in the distance. Pterodactyl shadows wheel against a sky domed by cavern crystal. And the people. Oh, the people. Tall as aspens, skin like burnished copper, eyes reflecting inner stars. They call themselves the Agartha, guardians of the core. Their cities float on anti-gravity spires, powered by the planet's hidden pulse. They speak in harmonies that heal wounds, share libraries of crystal scrolls chronicling our surface wars as cautionary fables. Elias learns the truth. We are the hollow ones, scraping existence on a brittle shell while they thrive in abundance. The polar holes? Portals, sealed by ancient pacts to protect us from ourselves. But the Agartha watch. They whisper through dreams, guide compasses astray, nudge history's hand. Elias begs to stay. A queen with hair like woven lightning offers him eternity. But duty calls. The crew mutinies, drags him back to the updraft. They emerge into Antarctic night, ship battered, mind shattered. The Aurora's whisper limps home, logs burned on orders from above. Sims dies in 1829, broken but unbowed, buried with a hollow globe at his feet. Reynolds fades to obscurity, his lectures dismissed as delirium. Adams? He swears it was all a lark. The expedition? Erased from naval records, chalked up to lost at sea. Or was it? Fast forward to the 20th century. Admiral Richard Byrd, hero of polar flights, allegedly buzzes the North Pole in 1947. His lost diary, smuggled out by a deathbed confidant, describes exactly this. A verdant paradise, advanced craft rising from the ice, warnings of atomic folly from the master of the inner realm. Nazis? They launched U-boats to the South Pole in 43, chasing Thule society myths of Aryan ancestors in Agartha. Even today, seismic anomalies ping from the core, sounds like none other, as if something vast stirs below. But science scoffs. Seismic waves prove a solid core, they say. Magnetic fields demand molten iron, not hollow halls. Yet, what if they're echoes, bouncing off curved shells we can't detect? What if the holes shifted, sealed by quakes or will? Friends, the hollow earth isn't dead, it's dormant. A siren call in every unexplained polar flare, every miner's tale of subterranean winds. Elias Thorne? He never spoke of it. Washed up in a Boston asylum, sketching maps of impossible continents till his last breath. But in his eyes, you could see it, the glow of a bigger world. So, what do you think? Portal to paradise or polar fever dream? Drop your theories in the comments. Have you felt that pull, that itch to dig deeper? If this tale lit a spark, smash that like button. Subscribe for more dives into the abyss. Next week, the Philadelphia experiment. Did the Navy vanish a ship into time? Remember, the truth isn't out there. It's in here. Good night. If you would like to hear more shocking stories like this, subscribe to our channel.